so I had started reading these two books day before yesterday. One is You Are My Best Wife by Ajay K. Pandey. This is the story of two people who fall in love despite the contradiction in their ideologies. It is set in Allahabad, and you know, a lot of it is about these two college students. So it begins from there. Really, I would say I'm enjoying it, but okay, like I would talk more about it later on. Then you guys have been asking me to read a Hindi novel, so I picked up this classic Gunahon Ka Devta by Dharamveer Bharti. Honestly, the way it began, the way it set up the scene, it's just amazing. I know why this is such a talked about novel, okay? And lastly, I haven't started reading it yet, but I just got this book, Pet Sematary by Stephen King from Bhargavi. Bhargavi, thank you so much for wishing me for the launch of my t-shirt store and sending me this book. Honestly, you have no idea how much I wanted it, or maybe you have, that's why you sent it. I so wanted to start another Stephen King novel, and it's just like so amazing. Thank you. Sorry could not update you guys on Monday, but I am in this weird state when I have started reading 3 books, and the 4th one is on the way, the Raavan by Amish Tripathi, and I am now feeling a little bit intimidated because I know that this one, the first book I'm reading is Pet Sematary by Stephen King. Think about it, this is gonna take a long time. It's 500 pages and it is Stephen King's writing, so will take a long time. Then I started the second book last week, You Are the Best Wife by Ajay K. Pandey. Now I have read about 56 pages of this book. Now I wouldn't say I'm like liking it a lot. Like I can understand why people love it. I can understand how at some points it's really funny and it's really like gives a vibe of a true story, you know, the things that actually happen in engineering colleges or things people do, and the perspective of the author is really cool to read. But still I am not like fully into this book, so this book is also there that I'm reading. And then I finally started a Hindi novel, Gunahon Ka Devta by Dharamveer Bharti. Now this is really beautiful, like the way this started. I have read just one, like you can say one chapter, one passage of the book, and it's so good. Like how many pages? About 10 pages of the book, and it's so amazing, like the way it started, the way the author binds the scene, perfect. So these are the 3 books that I'm reading, and now I'm feeling a little bit intimidated because I don't have that much of time to read, and if I put a gap on any of these books I'll have to start over. So it's just like I just got back from the gym and now I am going to be reading some Stephen King, this book, Pet Sematary. Ideally I should go and take a bath right away, but we have to go for another walk, right bro? And then I will take a bath and get to work again. So yeah, if you ever wondered what does Manpreet do usually in her day, I work a lot from 8 to about 4:35. Sometimes I work from 10 to 4:30, and then I go to the gym, like take rest for some time, go to the gym, come back, take Frodo for a walk. So it's about 8 by then. Then I work again for 3-4 hours, and that's it. Sometimes I watch a TV show. These days I'm re-watching Grey's Anatomy. So that's my life, normal life, work life. So I read another 25 pages of Pet Sematary, and honestly in the beginning of the book itself, Stephen King has a note saying that it is the most horrifying novel he has written, like the most scary novel he has written. But he also says that his audience thinks that The Shining was the most scary novel he has written, and I didn't find Shining that scary. I mean, it's creepy, but when it comes to the horror factor, I would give it like 5 out of 10. So I am not sure what to feel about this one, because Dr. Sleep was not at all scary at all. Like it was like 1 out of 10 when it comes to scary part. I don't know, there is this thing with me that I don't get scared that much. Like horror movies don't impact me in that way. Like jump scares, like I might jump at the jump scares people have in the movies, but otherwise I don't feel scared of the horror stuff. So I am not sure how I will feel about Pet Sematary, but let's see. On On Tuesday night, I'm done with more than 100 pages of Pet Cemetery. So this is about this doctor and his family. This Dr. Lewis, he moves to this new place and he moves into this very old house. Everything is fine. He has 2 kids, a loving wife, and everything is fine except for this road where lots of big trucks and lots of big vehicles pass by, and it's kind of scary when you have kids because they might run onto this street slash road and it might not be good for them. Except for this road, everything else seems to be fine. So in front of the house there's this road, and on the back of the house there's just wilderness, and there's a path that reaches to a place called Pet Cemetery where the kids of this place have been burying their pets for ages, for decades. And that place also seems like quite innocent, just a place where kids buried their pets, cute little pets. But this doctor starts experiencing nightmares and starts experiencing supernatural and inexplicable things, and that is what the story of Pet Cemetery is about. Today only I watched this video of Books and Lela. I'll put her YouTube channel down below, or the video where she talks about Stephen King's books, and she talks about how Shining is not really a horror, it's more of a thriller, and I would agree with her opinion much more because it wasn't really horror. It had like gory details and all that, and it was creepy. The whole idea of somebody being stuck in a hotel that might be haunted, that is very creepy, but it's not really horror sort of a novel. But I believe this is a horror novel, so let's just see how scared I get. Okay, by the way, the writing of this novel is much easier as compared to Dr. Sleep, in my opinion. Okay, so for your convenience, the writing or the ease of understanding of this book would be like, so far would be 5 out of 10. I will just revisit the score later on as well. Even 4 out of 10. So 1 is the easiest, 10 is the toughest, and it would be 4 out of 10. So Wednesday night I have read, like, I lost my bookmark, but I have read about 150 pages of the book, really enjoying it. It's not creepy at all yet. Like, there have been 2-3 incidents that were supposed to be creepy, but they were okay for me. Like, I really want to get scared, so I have high hopes from it. Hi guys, so I am filming videos for you guys today and my camera was focusing elsewhere, so I am filming a tag video and also a wrap-up video today. So I just finished reading one and really happy about it, and this is the mess, sort of like, yeah, these are the books that were featured, and this is my notebook where I write the script. If you ever want to know, Manpreet, how do you make your videos, I like just write some pointers. For example, this was a mid-year book freakout tag, so I wrote the questions and I just wrote like a little bit of answers about it. So yeah, this is there, and then this is the wrap-up video. I really put in some pointers about it here as well. So yeah, so that's a little glimpse of how I make my booktube videos. If you want to see the rest of the setup, there is my background, and in my front I have my camera. I actually use Canon 200D for making videos, and there is this tripod and there is this mic from Rode. So I'll link all of these down below if you want to check out. I love this camera for shooting my booktube videos. And there is this light, yeah, that is the umbrella light that I have. Half of this setup is actually bought from Amazon, and half of it I have smudged kajal, and that must have looked really bad in my videos. Why does this happen to me? But yeah, half of the setup is from Amazon and half of the setup is something which I bought from a local store. So a lot of you actually ask me, Manpreet, how did you figure out which light to use and all that? I am the kind of person who's very irritating, and if I see a photographer, I would just go to them and ask, what product is this? Where did you buy this from? And blah blah blah. So that's how I discovered this umbrella light, which is really cheap. Like the light comes for like 120 rupees, and this umbrella comes for 100 rupees, like 250 rupees setup. And this was from my previous light. So the setup up there is of 250 rupees, and the stand really costed like a bit, but because of the lights, it came with the lights, that's why. I'm on the floor right now because I was making videos while sitting on the floor, and I forgot my own tip to wiggle my toes while I was sitting, because now my whole foot is asleep, and if I get up it would be really painful. So I'm just sleeping on this floor. Guys, I just got the book that I was waiting for since so many days, and here it is finally. So let's just open it up, okay? I have got Raavan by Mr. Pathi. It's a big book. I have to read it like ASAP and review it. Maybe I'll review it on Tuesday. I have to just finish reading this book this week. It's of 368 pages, so I think I can totally do it. What do you think? Do you guys think that I will be able to do it in this vlog itself? Just comment down below, okay? Seeing all the updates about everybody getting the book, and I was like, what is happening? And I ordered my own book and Bhargavi's book together. And I got the message that she has gotten the book in the morning itself. I said, oh, great. What is happening? Why are you not getting the book? And then I got it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Now I need to stop this acting and actually get to work. Guys, this is Tuesday and I haven't been feeling like filming a reading vlog or even reading, though I am on page number 142 of Raavan. I like that sort of feeling which is like, oh my god, I need to finish this book, or oh my god, I need to keep reading this. I just do not have that feeling and I don't know why. And I am really missing. Where is it? हाँ, ये कैसे पहुंच गया तुम्हें? Okay, so I was looking for the book and S had it. So I am really missing reading Pet Sematary. I actually have read more than 120 pages of this book. I think 150. I do not have the bookmark inside, so truly do not remember, but I'm missing this. But now that I want to read this one for you guys, I can't read this one, and I am not feeling like reading this one, so it's just like a problem, a huge problem for me. And I even had to delay my reading vlog. Like, I'm trying to combine my last week's reading vlog with this one because of this, because I am going through a serious problem. Which one should I read? This which I really want to read, or this which I really wanted to read and you guys really wanted me to read, but I don't know why I don't want to read it that much. Wednesday of the reading vlog, and I did do some reading, although I feel like it's very weird that in the morning I picked up a horror novel. I read about 2 chapters of this Pet Sematary. I really do not want to lose touch with this novel because I am really liking it. And then I got Raavan, so I really want to read it for you guys and also for myself because I want to read a lot of Indian novels, which I kind of feel lately I haven't been reading many. It's just like sometimes I get so disappointed, so sad over, you know, books that I do not like, that I just try to avoid them. But the whole point of Indian Booktuber channel is to talk about Indian books, right? Like a lot of books, but also about Indian books. So I really did not want to lose touch with this book while I am reading. I don't know where that one went. Okay, I've lost the book, or maybe I'm sitting on it. Yes, I was definitely sitting on it. Raavan. So I am on page number 203 of Raavan. So approximately 200 pages left. The camera battery ran out. That's why there is this wire which is now ruining my setup, because I just have 2 batteries for this vlog camera, because I'm also vlogging for my daily vlog channel. So I just use like 1 or 2 runs of batteries every day, and I do not want to wait for the battery to charge. So I have 2 batteries for this camera. By the way, if you want to check out which camera I use for my daily vlogging and which camera I use, or the whole equipment that I use for shooting my booktube videos, the cameras are different because I use 2 different cameras for 2 different purposes of video making. So I will link all the devices down below in the description, so do check it out. Anyway, I was talking about Raavan. So I am liking it as a normal, like, okay book, but there are things that I am not liking. So there is this Facebook group that I am a part of, and I was just taking a look at the discussions that were happening around this book, and one thing that resonated with me was this book sometimes gets too preachy, just like you know, the first book in the series got. Like, I loved Sita and I really loved that book. But this one is sometimes, you're like, okay, why is this rant happening? But otherwise, I'm really excited to be finishing it. You know what? I feel like when it comes to somebody starting as a beginner reader, it's really good that you pick up Indian books, because I feel like they are much smoother in writing. The good ones, only the good ones are much smoother and much easier to go through. So yeah, I really appreciate the authors that write these kind of books which can be read by beginners and which can be read by people of any reading level. So with that being said, yeah, right now I'm hoping I feel better about this book, because I'm trying really hard to feel better about this book. This framing could have removed that wire, and I did not think about it a few moments ago. Anyway, let me show you one more thing that I did, because it's just like I like doing weird stuff. Let me show you, okay? So what I did was I went to my bookshelves and picked up all the short story collections that I had, because I just want to get through them. And let me show you the ones that I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So these are like obviously collection of essays, but I just considered them as short stories. This I'm not really sure that it's a collection of short stories, but yeah, these are all the short story collections that I have that I haven't read. So I am hopefully going to get through all of these very soon. By the way, if you are wondering which is this book, I know one of you would have asked. So this is Ek Gadhe Ki Atmakatha. I am not reading it. I just gave it to my assistant to read. So she really enjoyed it. I really have wanted to read this book for a long time, but never made it past even 50 pages. Guys, so this is the end of the day, and I still have to do a little bit of reading. I'm just like struggling my way through this book, Raavan. So I am done with about 200 pages, and now like I went through this section which sort of described how or why Raavan could have been a good guy, but he became a bad guy. He chose to be a bad guy because of one particular incident in his life, and that was so not compelling. First of all, the one thing that comes to my mind is like, the author tried to do a John Wick thing, as in, my dog died, so I'm gonna kill everybody who made it happen, but in a very terrible manner, like the Hindi Bollywood style thing. Like, you killed something dear to me, I'm going to wreak havoc now. And this is so not compelling. I mean, I think of another mythological character who was a bad person, really bad person, and I read about him and I actually really loved him, and that was Duryodhan from Mahabharat, a series by Anand Neelakantan. Honestly, after you finish that series, you're like, I am not taking the Pandav side, I'm taking the Kaurav side. That is how compelling the storytelling is. That is just how awesome and how amazingly everything has been done, and that is more close to how actual mythology is. So there is a lot less freedom that an author can enjoy when writing that type of book. Whereas when we talk about something like Raavan or how Amish Tripathi writes, I think he had a lot of freedom, like a lot more than Anand Neelakantan must have had while writing Mahabharat from a different perspective. Judging from this particular passage and this particular incident, which I would like to believe that it was the defining moment in the character's life, and that was done so badly. You had so much of freedom, you could have done anything with it, and you just did it so badly. So it's just like, I'm a bit disappointed, and my energy level and my willpower to actually finish this book is just dwindling. It wasn't so high anyway. I mean, I was really excited because I loved Sita, and honestly, I told you guys that I would review it, and if it wasn't for reviewing it, and also because I started this book, I'm just like, I have so many books that I have read almost up to the last page and then left, and now I haven't really read that book. So it just puts extra pressure on my mind. So I was just like, you have started reading it, just get through it, finish it. You are not going to DNF it, because at some point in your life you would want to read it. So just get done with it. So I'm just like struggling through it. Thursday night, and I spent the whole day trying not to read. I was not feeling well, so I obviously could not work, and that is usually the time when I catch up a lot on my reading. I'm just procrastinating reading this book. I'm just not liking it, and I'm just really disappointed with it. See, this is the thing. A lot of people accuse me of taking reading very personally, taking my reviews very personally. Now, I find it very funny because this whole book review channel, the reason why people follow me, the reason why you might follow me is because you probably want to listen to me, and I'm really flattered and grateful to you guys for that. And I just do not understand when people come to me and say, so they won't even call you with your name or call you with even an ounce of respect. They're like, oh my god, you're so shit because you are doing reviews like this and that. Why don't you just talk about the books? Who cares about your opinion? I mean, if you just wanted to know about the book, you would go and Google it. You would go and look at the Wikipedia page of the authors, right? You want to listen to actual people and know what other actual people are thinking about the book. And secondly, when you talk about book reviews and reading, it is a very personal hobby. It is really personal to you. How you feel about a particular book, that is really, really personal. And honestly, reading is much more personal to me because reading is like my escape. If I do not read, I feel depressed. And that is also why many a times I get really, really pissed off when I see bad books. So when there is a very bad book that is just clearly written to just get that tag or just to make money and with no amount of real effort in it, it just pisses me off. And I do not have any regrets about that because honestly, I do not make my videos for authors to see and for them to actually message me and blah blah blah, you know what, you reviewed my book wrong and blah blah blah. I don't care what authors think about me. What I care is that what my subscribers think about me, and not even in the manner that it came out. I just care that I should be very honest about my opinion, and if somebody doesn't like it, they should just not consider that opinion and ignore me. And if somebody resonates with that opinion, they can just take my opinion and consider it, right? I really thought of a lot of things to say because I'm really like struggling with this book right now, and it's just like hard to finish it. Like 200 pages left, and 200 pages of a book by an Indian author is not so much. Like I have read like 400 pages in one go, 500 pages in one go of Indian books. But this is just like, you know, when you do not want to read a book, when you are like feeling miserable, like I should probably DNF it, but I don't want to DNF it. It's not that bad, but it's making me feel sad and depressed and making me procrastinate from reading, and that is a vicious circle because I do not feel good when I'm not reading, but if I'm reading, I'm not feeling good, so I'm not reading, and now I'm not feeling good. Does that make sense? This is Friday, and I have promised myself to finish this book and to improve the overall quality of my life. I have already read about like 50-60 pages today. I am left with only 100 pages, so let's do this. Oh my god, you just messed up the whole framing. Just sit down now. Sit down. Okay guys, so I just finished reading this book, and there are so many things that disappointed me about this book. Okay, let's begin with what are those, okay? First of all, I feel like the whole story was so distinct. I just could not feel like a part of the story. I just could not feel like I was really in the story. It was just like something I was examining or listening to from a distance. Throughout the book, obviously because the book is about Raavan, I have been keenly observing Raavan's character, and I feel like Raavan is that innately evil character who was born evil, who liked being evil, and that is fine with me. That is fine with me. But what is not fine is that there was that John Wick moment that was done in this book, and even though it's believable, but it's just like it was done in a too Bollywood manner, and it was just like, okay, couldn't you just find something better? Like in my opinion, I feel like this could have been a little less cliched. While Raavan was this forcefully evil character, and there was a not so good attempt to make him more understandable or to make him a little human, I feel like the other characters, Kumbhakaran is like the exact opposite of Raavan, and it's fine if it is so, but at some moments it feels like Kumbhakaran has been just forced to become the good. You know, he has been forcefully given the part of being the hero of the story. I mean, I understand if the characters of Sita, Samichi, and all those people were kept distant for a reason, for making a good narrative, but I do not understand, or I cannot like feel satisfied over the fact that all the other characters, for example, Ravan's relationship with everybody, Ravan's relationship with his mother, with his uncle, with another guy who calls him Iriv, I am not going to check the name, okay, with his step siblings, with his father, with his guru, everything is just so distant, and you know, there was no attempt to really go deep into those emotions or those relationships, so I felt even more distant from the story. What else have I written about this book on what I feel? Obviously, you guys know that I had to struggle to read this book. I also did not like the forced preaching, which is one of the things that I did not like about the first book in the series as well. By the way, guys, in one of my videos, in some of my videos actually, I have said that you can read the book without reading the previous books. While I still believe that you can read Ram and Sita and you do not have to read Ram first, I don't think you should be doing that with Raavan, because you'll be terribly spoiled in the first chapter. So just read it in the series if you want to read it. I don't mind like the lessons you get from the stories, okay, but when they are put forward in a forceful and preachy manner, that is what I do not like. With that being said, I saw somebody talking about these two things which I completely do not agree with. One of them was that you know, they did not like how Amish Tripathi brought in the real world issues, for example the politics or the society issues these days, and he also brought up the, you know, women being banned from temples issue in the book. And I personally love when authors do that, when fantasy authors do that. It is just something I really like in books, like bringing something from your real world and making it a part of a fantasy novel. That is something I really like, okay. And also a lot of people still are offended with the fact that there is something called mythological retellings, okay. And I don't think you can do anything to make the people understand to not get offended over mythological retellings, okay. This is not called distorting a story, or this is not disrespecting the mythological tales in any way. This is actually just a different sort of art, and I respect this art as well. So I have nothing to say to those people who just get offended over this, because you cannot really say anything to make those people understand. Yeah, I have exactly written this. The story isn't deeply impressing, no twists and turns per se. And there is one twist and turn, or you know, you would say there is one twist, and I feel like that twist was something so obvious. When can you say that a twist was an obvious one, or a twist was not twist at all? Was I able to guess what exactly the twist was gonna be? No, not at all. But was I able to guess that something was deliberately done, something was deliberately left out in the story or kept weak because this would be used further in the story? If I'm able to do, or if I'm able to point out that fact while reading it before the twist happens, I feel like it is not a twist at all. It is just like a weak part of the story, and that is what the biggest twist in the story was. So it was just like, honestly, I feel like I really liked the part of Raavan's story when he was a trader, or how he was just growing up his trading business and growing up his position and eventually became the king of Lanka. But you know, only the half part of it. After a particular part, when the author attempts really hard to humanize this character, after that I was just like, Manpreet, just get done with this book. He just started reading it, finished it. Yes, you support DNFing, but a lot of people are waiting for your opinions about it, and it would be a torture to explain to everybody why you did not read this book. So just get done with it. So I just got done with it, okay. But at that point I knew this book is not going to get improved and not going to be something that I would like. This is specifically what I have written. Raavan hates his mother, okay. Why? His disdain was apparent, but what caused it? You can't go on trying to explain or establish why he wanted to destroy a particular kingdom while just saying, oh, he was like that for everything else. So it was just like, most of the story was like he was born evil and blah blah blah. But then there was this attempt to explain as well. But if you want to explain, then explain the whole thing. Then why keep some things like, okay, he was just born evil, he just has disdain, he just hates these particular characters, and that's how he is like, but he's doing this particular thing because of this. And that was also not done well. So it was just like nothing connects that will make you happy about reading this story. And obviously I've written this like the social issues, some of them are nice to read, but some of them just come out of blue, and you are just like, oh, the lecture begins, let's just get done with it because we have to finish the book. It's like you are an outsider. This I have already told you. You are not invited to be a part of the story. You're just an outsider. Just stay out. I would have totally not read it if not for my booktube channel. I don't know what to say to you guys. I really like Amish Tripaঠি's work, and I really like what he has written before. Honestly, I just love Sita, Warrior of Mithila. That just made me feel like I'm never going to be disappointed with this author. But this time I am wished that if the book did come out, it should have been powerful, it should have been impactful. But this wasn't so. I have read books about bad characters, and they were compelling reads, they really made you emotional. But this was just like, oh my god, like, and don't take me in a wrong manner, I never wanted to like Raavan, okay? In this book at least, I did not want to like him, but I really wanted to feel the evil of this character. I really wanted to, really feel or be a part of this book, which was not possible. By the way, some of you guys also commented that this is pretty gruesome and you did not like those graphic violent scenes. I personally love those scenes, okay? Like, that makes me a little scared to confess that in front of, like, on the internet, but I just love those scenes. Sometimes I don't like that. There was this one show where the scenes were like, I think it was called Spartacus or something like that, and you would, or I think it was Vikings. I just started watching this show. I think both of them were like that. They had these like slow motion scenes where you'll punch a guy and blood will come out, and like slow motion blood going out. That is something I do not like, but otherwise I like scenes of violence and all that. I kind of enjoy them. So yeah, do not judge me, okay? I'm a very kind, peace-loving person. I fight sometimes, I get angry sometimes, but I'm a very kind and peace-loving person. But all in all, I would give this book 3.2 out of 5 stars, and 3.2 because I wanted to give it 3, but it's just like, Manpreet, you knew way early in the book that you would not like it, so you kept reading it. It's your fault that you did not like it at all. So that's why 3.2. Otherwise, I would have given it 3. But I am so happy that I finally finished this book. I feel free now. I am free. I am free to read any of the short stories piled over here. I am free to read any book now. Guys, so today is Saturday, and I'm just not like feeling like working. I did film a few videos, but I just do not want to post, so I did not post anything this week, and I was not feeling well. One day I was actually sick, and now I'm just like sad, so I decided to just like put this whole week off and continue from next week. But as I was not doing anything else, so I decided to stop binge watching Grey's Anatomy because I just do not want to watch the show so many times. I just love the show, but it's just like sometimes you're just watching it too much, and watching TV kind of tires me out. I can read a book for like tens of hours and I am okay, but watching even 2 episodes, they tire me out. So I decided to pick up like some Indian novels that a lot of you guys have wanted me to actually read, and that is why I picked up Secrets We Keep by Sudeep Nagarkar. And this is my first Sudeep Nagarkar book, and you guys said that I would love it very much. But so far I have been very disappointed with the book. The way it is happening, the way the flow breaks, and you jump to the next scene and you jump to the next scene as if it's a movie, but a very bad movie. I'm just not liking it, but I'm already done with 50 pages. So the only thing about like small short books with easy writing is that you can get through them even when they are bad. So let's just get through this. I honestly feel like July is not a good reading month because I haven't been able to pick up good books. And you'll be like, Manpreet, why don't you just read something you are very sure you are gonna like? But it's just that I have a huge TBR pile, and I also have a lot of pressure on my head to just read the books that are there on my bookshelf and that are just lying there and not being read. So I'm just like getting through them, like I'm trying to get through this one. So this book is all about this guy who is in love with this girl, and he is part of an intelligence agency, and this girl is in danger, and his life kind of changes when his girlfriend cum fiance gets kidnapped and all that. Hi guys, so this is the end of the reading vlog. It was like very testing 2 weeks of my life, when I almost, like, I would say it was fair to say that I almost quit reading because it was just so bad. But let me show you the books that I tried reading last week, in last 15 days actually. So I finished reading Raavan. To just sum up, I did not like this book because the Raavan's character had no layers, when originally the mythological character is such an interesting character, and this just seemed like a book that was there because it had to be there. Like, there had to be like one book which was already announced and all that. It didn't feel like it came from like real passion or depth. Okay, I know it's very personal, and I know a lot of people will be like, Manpreet, you should not be saying like this, but that's just how I felt. Okay, I'm not trying to attack anybody, it's just how I felt, and I'm utterly disappointed with it because yeah, I expected a lot from this, and this was just like, if he had to be this like stupid villain, then why did you write a whole book about it? Like, you should have just let it go. So I'm just feeling this way. So not trying to attack anybody, still giving a disclaimer because a lot of people get offended over that. If you love the book, that's totally okay, and you should tell everybody that they should read the book. I'm just doing my part and telling what I feel. Okay, so finish this book, just like do not want to touch it again. Anyway, next I actually tried I am already reading this book, Stephen King's book, but I am done with very few pages, up actually 166 pages. It's just like, it really hurt to just give my time to a book that I was not liking and not give my time to a book that I really liked. So this week I'm going to fix that probably. When I talk about You Are the Best Wife, I have read about 56 pages only. Again, it was just like not something that I was enjoying, probably because of the hangover from that bad book. But then again, I picked up this book. I was like, maybe that is a very big book and I'm really going through this hangover, so I should start something different and start something that is short. So I picked up this book. It's 200 pages long and I'm struggling through it. 78 pages done with it, but it's just not written well. Okay, this is my first Sudeep Nagarkar novel, and I have like 3 of those on my shelf. So I'm like really worried because I want to just get done with my TBR pile, and if the books are not good, I won't be able to do that. So all in all, these are the 4 books that I tried reading in the last 15 days. I actually finished 1, and these are the 3 which I am struggling with. 1 is already done, but the 2 I'm struggling with, and this is the one that I really want to read in the coming week. If you want to follow all of those updates, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit your notifications on by turn your notifications on by hitting the bell button, and make sure you share this video with your friends, or just comment down below. Like, if you don't want to share, just comment down below with what you think about this vlog, and if you watched it till the end, just type Samwise in the comments down below. Okay, Sam Weiss. And that's it for today's video. This is Manvi signing off. I'll be back with another vlog or another video very soon, and I think probably the next video would be the Raavan's review, my like half-hearted attempt at it, because the only views I have about this book are like highly personal, and it would be just like misunderstood as attacking the author personally and stuff like that. So I'm just like, Manpreet, why do you have to even tell? Just say the things which are very objective, and just do not say the things which you really feel like, just do not say the things that you would really say to somebody over phone about what you really felt about this book. Okay, just be the professional self. Okay, and maybe you will have less haters, which is not going to happen, but still, I'm just like, okay, let's just, my heart is not into like saying bad things about books these days. It's just like, I'm just like, why talk about bad books, right? Like, I have been trying to avoid that, so it's just like hard for me to do that now. So anyway, see you on Thursday.